Talking to your mic, Dick.
Hello?
Welcome to Schmuckast, where we talk about schmucks and casting.
Can we redo that? Because it looked like we had like a 15-second gap of nothingness.
Welcome to Schmuckcast.
Oh, yeah, this is Matt Weatherford.
And Lenny Sherman, and we're here to talk about Matt's mom.
No, we're actually here to talk about Berserk, which I'm almost done. I have an hour and a half left to go. It's a cool story. Lots of great animation. Highly recommended. It's quite a beautiful film. Lots of battles, which is cool. The opening scene was very memorable, with him waking up, right? You see like the seagulls or whatever over his head, and then it goes right into the battle, and that was all really cool. Very violent. Yeah. What do you think, Lenny?
I'm obsessed with this series, you know that.
Absolutely obsessed. He could probably tell you right now.
Out of the three central characters, which one are you most interested
Griffith,
in?
Obviously. Definitely the most deep and, I get a bad feeling about Griffith, though. I feel like he's selfish. He's wanting his own. When they say our dreams came true, you're thinking it's more Griffith's dreams are coming true. But then again, they love him, They look up to him.
Wait till the third chapter.
I can't wait.
That's all I've got to say.
We might just watch it tonight. I don't know. We might just watch it tonight.
Lots
of memorable moments. The monster in the cave was real cool.
Zod the Immortal.
I'm really happy you showed me about that. That's all I can say. It's about this guy named Guts. Guts! I'm not going to call him Guts the whole time. But anyways, Guts was in a war. And Griffith employs him or whatever, and they pretty much duel. And he says, "You're mine now," and he becomes his warrior. And Guts is a very ferocious warrior, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a pretty fucked up backstory. I'd like to really show you when we're done watching the trilogy, not the whole series, but go over the episodes that really help define. If you remember in the first movie, there was that really brief 30-second flashback that Guts had where the guy's head fell off and everything. You remember that? It was all in slow motion. He wakes up next to Casca and she's naked in the tent. But right before that, there's that 30-second flashback where he's a kid.
Guy getting decapitated.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole episode devoted to that, and it's really fucked up. You find out Guts was born from a corpse, and there's just all this fucked up
Why was
stuff.
she sleeping with him again?
Because he had lost a lot of blood when Griffith wounded him.
Yeah.
And so Griffith blatantly ordered her to sleep next to him to warm him up, because it's a woman's duty to warm up a man.
Naked. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, in the second movie, when he had to take off her clothes to warm her up because she was wet and everything, that was kind of him repaying the favor.
She was pregnant. That was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever said. She's bleeding in the crotch, and I go, "Oh, is she pregnant or something?"
If you're pregnant,
yeah, that's it.
The last place you better be bleeding from is from the vagina.
And a great sex scene, I have to admit. I almost got a little turned on. She was hot. He grabs her boob, and it's by the fire. But now, of course, he's a traitor because he had sex with the princess, and they all caught him, and now everyone's trying to kill his army. And now he just lost his amulet, which is the source of his power, really, isn't it?
Well, you'll see what that amulet is.
Isn't it?
The Bailet. No, I'm not saying anything. The Bailet has a lot of significance.
It protects him. It protected him from that monster in the cave. And I like when the eyes open. That was probably my favorite part, is when he goes, "Yeah, funny, huh?"
There's a lot of symbolism in Berserk, too, which I really appreciate, which you probably didn't catch on to because you haven't seen the TV show. You're not familiar with the manga. But, yeah, it's one of my favorite stories. It's probably one of the greatest stories ever told, really. And but wasn't there kind of a sense, didn't you feel kind of protective, wow, the characters finally achieved their goals, and you thought it would just go on from a happy ending from
It was
there?
cool to see it all come to fruition, yeah, and
take
that castle.
But then the end, when all that shit happened to Griffith and the Hawks.
It's quite a character arc.
Yeah.
I hope Guts comes back. Very good warrior. He left because he just didn't want to be part of that dream anymore. He felt like he was being used as a pawn in his army, and like you said, that one scene by the fountain when he's staring up there listening to him talk about friendship.
Well, yeah, it was more about just Guts wanting to forge something for himself and wanting to be Griffith's friend. He wants to be Griffith's friend. He doesn't want to be just a soldier, but in order for Griffith to see him as that, he leaves. Of course, as you saw with Griffith's decision with the princess, he doesn't really take that well. He kind of goes out of character because originally he does say, for a man to be my friend, he has to go off and do his own thing and forge something for himself. And then when Guts does that, Griffith falls apart on him because he realized, I think at that moment, that Guts meant so much more to him than that.
I think my favorite line, though, "She pisses me off." I never liked you. You want to know why? It's that fucking face of yours. Lots of great lines. A lot of the writing was really good, but I really liked the artwork and the drawings. some of it, like I said, even looked real. You would think it was a real thing, and it's real. Something, that's
what
real
about
special.
what about the actual Hawks? Do you remember any of the supporting characters?
Oh yeah, the big black guy.
That's Pippin.
Pippin, and there's the one guy that told off Guts. He was pretty
Corcus.
cool.
Yeah.
And then there's Casca, the pretty girl.
Casca's actually a
Casca.
central character.
Why do I say Casca?
Well, whatever.
Casca?
She's essential.
Casca.
Sounds like Casket, man.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
no, she's a central character.
She's a female warrior, and there's something between her and Guts, I think, and she really looks up to Griffith. She's in love with him. She wants to be his sword. I think that was the best way to put it.
Yeah.
She wants to be his sword. I really like it, Lenny. So far, it's been really good, and I can't wait for the final chapter. I saw the trailer. It looked very exciting.
When you get to the end of the third movie, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Why did I just watch all of that?
Really?
Yeah.
What, you didn't like the ending? Is that what you're saying?
I love the ending, but it ends on a cliffhanger. It's kind of like if they made The Empire Strikes Back and they didn't make
right.
They didn't make Return of the Jedi. They just left it on Empire.
That'd be kind of cool.
That's
the end.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That's the kind of ending it has. It'll piss you off, but that's why the manga exists, because the whole story of Berserk is about what happens to Guts, his kind of anger and vengeance with him.
Guts
and
is the main character,
Griffith.
it seems, because he's
you kinda
see everything through his eyes.
The whole arcing story is about Guts and his. He goes through the land hunting demons. That's the whole story. That's the story that's being told. The movies and the TV show is actually a backstory. It's all prequel. It's a big flashback, and unfortunately, that's the story that they keep going back to because that's the most powerful and poignant story.
Oh, okay.
After that, it's just a revenge story, and I think it loses some of its interest because I've read some of the manga afterwards, and it's very dark and bleak and kind of hopeless.
Only an hour and a half left. I can't wait to see what happens.
About 2 hours, but yeah, there's a lot of great stuff, man.
I'm getting there.
Like
we'll
I
do
said,
another podcast in part 2.
Yeah.
The hour-long special. No, thank you for letting me watch that. I loved it. I really liked it the first time you showed me, like a year ago or a couple of years ago. It might have been
You
a couple
liked
years
it the
ago
first
now.
movie, but the first movie is all setup. Like any trilogy, it's just a setup movie. It doesn't really tell you much. But it ends with that very
it introduces everyone.
poignant, right? But it ends with that really poignant scene of them on the staircase.
Yep.
That's like the turning point of the entire saga of Berserk.
Part 2 was kind of, it seemed like all battles. It was all the uphill, the rise, and I have a feeling part 3 will be the fall.
Yeah,
and you see glimpses of it at the end of part 2.
2 is very emotional for me, especially when they win the Battle of Doldry, because and that's the thing with the TV series. The TV series embellishes that battle so much more. There's so much writing on it that the movie doesn't really explain that well. So maybe that's why it seems all battles to you. But there's, like I said, Griffith's relationship with General, the bearded guy, the General. His relationship with the General and the sexual relationship.
The sexual relationship.
Yeah, they don't even really explain that in the movie, which I thought was really important because that shows you how far Griffith is willing to go for his dream.
You were just nothing but a stepping stone in my road.
Yep. Exactly.
I highly recommend it. Anyone
Genin, General Genin. Yeah.
Just get it. Get the first part at least. Behold some of the great.
Yeah, Berserk, the Golden Age Arc trilogy. All 3 of them are out on Blu-ray in Japan. Unfortunately, they're kind of slow with releasing these films to the States. So the first chapter, The Egg of the King, is available in English, and the second chapter, Battle for Doldry, which we just watched in Japanese, comes out with the English dub in August to purchase in the U.S. So the third one probably won't come out for a while, but the third one, I've seen the third movie like 5 times. It's mesmerizing.
5 times?
Yeah. I'm obsessed, man. I'm telling you, and that's also the thing. Like the manga, there's so many mangas. There's I think 34 novels now that have been published of just the manga, and I have like 23 of them. They're like $13 a piece. They're kind of expensive. So if you really want to find out what happens after the movies end, and you don't want to go out and read the manga, you can go. There's all kinds of like Wikipedia entries that kind of tell you in a nutshell what's been going on after.
Oh, okay.
So you can kind of get.
You kind of want to watch the TV show. It really is what it is.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you will. Hopefully it'll. But I mean, the TV show ends the same way the trilogy does. It ends on a very bleak note, and I'll stop there. Anyway, what have you been working on, man? What's been going on with you?
Oh, not much. Just working at the steel mill and trying to put together the next podcast, I guess.
Well, I'm working on some videos. We're always doing these podcasts. These are really fun, and they're easy to put together. But I just put up my Berserk vlog. It's a 40-minute video of me just praising Berserk. Yeah. And I'm actually not done yet because I'm going to go back in and actually do a retrospective because I know there's a lot of people out there who won't actually watch it. So I'm going to put up a little 20-minute video based on each of the 3 films and talk in intricate detail about what the films are about and all that stuff. And then I'm also doing a video sometime this summer on the Lethal Weapon films. What's your take on those films? You were saying last time, I think it was you that said they didn't really stand the test of time. Was that you?
I don't know. I only saw the first one recently. It was okay. Yeah, it was all right. I don't remember. I'm not a big fan of those movies.
And that's the thing. Like, it seems like with those movies, like maybe it's because they haven't done more, like Die Hard and Rambo and all these movies that have recently been coming out. Indiana Jones. People love these movies. You find out that people talk about them all the time. But Lethal Weapon is one that I find like people watched when they were teenagers and then they kind of lost interest. So I'm wondering if that's because they haven't done one in a while. And at this point, I don't know.
My favorite part was when they had them both tied up and being tortured, and then
at the end,
Mel Gibson comes out of nowhere. He
let's get the flock out of here.
He chokes the guy with his legs, and he just comes in and get that motherfucker. There's no good guys left in the world. I remember that line.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. And obviously the end fight, in the front lawn.
I like Leo Getz. They fuck you, they fuck you, they fuck you in the drive-in.
That's right. I want to talk to you because I felt bad for you because you're sitting here defending your 25 movies, and apparently these people at your work have the balls to actually tell you that you're wrong.
They're just fucking with me.
They're all being like, so they've all seen your videos and everything?
Well, one guy saw the video, and then they talk about him. And, another guy saw most of the videos, and they just question my taste in movies.
You must be like, what? Who getting you all?
Well, a lot of the movie. First of all, I happen to like a lot of sequels better than the originals. It just depends. 2, who cares? It's my opinion. It's my taste in movies. If we all thought the same, who would have an opinion anymore?
Why is everyone so angry, bro?
It's not anger. It's just they fuck with me. Who cares? They called me a troll the other day.
They're mad that you like movies that they can't understand.
I don't know.
It's true.
There are certain movies that are like guilty pleasures where you know they're not good, but you enjoy certain aspects of them. Like for me, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this because it is a bad movie, but for me, Ninja Turtles 3 is a very serious guilty pleasure because it's such a fucking stupid movie. Turtles 2, in a way, is a guilty pleasure too, but
I love Turtles 2, and actually on one of my on the 10 topics I had, Turtles 2 was one of them.
Oh yeah,
I recently watched some of it, and I forgot how many times I must have seen that as a kid. I must have seen that so many times as a kid, more than any other movie. And more than any other movie, because almost every line was like sticking out to me. I remembered every scene. I remember them infiltrating the Foot Clan. And then, Ralph. Is it Ralph?
Raphael.
Raphael. Yeah, all the good ones in and out. I like when Michelangelo 21, 20.
One.
Yeah. Shredder was so over the top. I like when they're pouring the ooze and he's just like, yes.
They are stupid.
Yes. I love that. Anyone who challenged, step forward.
Freak against
I challenge.
Yeah.
Master.
That was one of those movies that I was really looking forward to when it came out because I fucking loved the first one.
Yeah.
And the second one, like, it doesn't really stand the test of time as well. But
I think it's just cute.
But it's cute, yeah. But I
like the nightclub scene. That always kind of came out of nowhere when they fight.
I just remember, Vanilla Ice.
And they throw him through the wall and they go into a nightclub. And that was kind of cool how that happened, actually.
It was one of those movies that you had to be in the theater at the time. You had to be a 10-year-old kid. You had to be in the theater with a bunch of other 10-year-old kids who were just going nuts at everything that was going on.
Look at this crazy joint. It's like video games in 3D.
Where do you put the quarter? Mikey.
Well, in this market, it's hard to... I forgot it. Blah, blah, blah.
It's hard to find good subterranean housing.
There's that line wax off. Knock off.
Mouth off.
What did he say? Mouth off? Yeah,
there's that one scene where Michelangelo does the fucking Rick from Casablanca.
He did. Yep. The hell beans in this crazy. Ah!
It's so weird because, like, that movie is all about pop culture. And the first time I saw Casablanca, like 2 years ago, I'm watching that like, that's from Turtles 2. But no, it's not. Turtles 2 stole it from Casablanca.
He had the hat on and everything. Yeah, he had the hat.
Well, I'd never seen...
The turncoat. The overcoat or whatever.
Yeah,
that's a great scene, by the way, when he sends her off. When you watch the full movie, the ending always gets me because it's very inspiring that he let her go.
I'd never seen a Humphrey Bogart movie, so I didn't know that. But there are so many lines that come from that movie that are repeated elsewhere.
The movie is kind of embedded.
It reeks of the culture. Yeah.
Embedded in cinema, it really has pretty much left its mark.
Yeah.
Now that is a very poignant scene. The woman he loves, he's letting.
I have to watch it again because that movie never really stuck with me. I enjoy watching it, but it
but you know what I mean?
Stuck with me.
He's doing the better thing. He's sacrificing his love for her for the better of the good of the world.
Yeah.
The whole Nazi, the World War II was going on, and he knew that you're that thing that keeps him going, the thing he needs. You might not regret it one day, but I forgot how he says it, but whatever. But anyways, it's just inspiring. It's inspiring. It's like we all would like to think we can all make the right choice then too. You're proud for him.
Casablanca sucks.
Yeah, whatever, dude. But anyway, so Turtles 2. Dream on, geek. Oh, when I dream, I'll dream of something a little thinner.
That was a mean line. That guy was an asshole. And wasn't me? Did you like? Did you like April better in part 1 or part 2?
I liked her in 2. She was really pretty. I like them both, but
I thought she had better personality in 1 actually.
Yeah, well, hey, they each had
I thought she was prettier. I thought the second actress was prettier, but I just thought the first one was a better.
I like that chuckle every now and then. I always like how Splinter always makes people faint.
Fellow chucker, eh?
Yeah, I kind of mean Harrison Ford anymore.
So what are you guys doing with my little green pal down there?
Oh no, they found the cubes! I would have thought it was funny if they put the ooze in pubic hair. And if you just changed one letter, oh no, they found the pubes! Give it them! I always thought it was pubes when they said it.
I don't think I'd get that if I was a kid.
Oh no, Mommy, what are pubes?
What is that?
Ew! Bogus! Donatello, you put your pubic hair in my turtle soup! Joke's on you! Anyways, how do you find the turtles constantly pranked each other?
Whoa, dudes, these pubes are a total bummer.
Put the bubble gum in my shoe.
What?
And Splinter's like, oh, you stop acting like kids.
Matt has gone bye-bye.
Yeah. Sorry, Venkman. I'm beyond all rational thought. Whatever it goes. So anyways, what about the video game of Turtles 2? I like that game. I only played the arcade game's sweet.
The piss-poor NES version of the arcade
Soldiers,
game.
And then you had Rocksteady. I always loved Rocksteady. Was it Rocksteady came out of the tunneler?
Now you're Turtle Soup, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it with fight? The very first level, you see April O'Neil in the office, and it was Bebop.
Tonight I dine on Turtle Soup.
Who were the bosses? Then you had Bebop.
Bebop?
Bebop.
Big
Cock.
Big Cock.
Who? Yeah, Big Cock. Anyway, so Big Cock, you fought him in the second level, and then third one, I believe, if I'm right, was Baxter in the sewer.
And you fought Leatherface. Was it Leatherface? Leatherhead. I was like 9 years old when I played these games.
Dude, what Leatherface came after the Turtles, really? They'd be like, holy shit!
Well, they had a Leatherface chainsaw. Remember the chainsaw dude in the first Turtles game that came after you? He's kind of like Leatherface, so excuse the fuck out of me.
Mask?
Yeah.
Did he have a hockey mask? He had a hockey mask, and when you defeated him, the head, as you were fighting him, wouldn't the head float around?
No. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm thinking of that game, but I've only played the NES game, so that's probably where we differ, because the arcade game is significantly different, I think.
It's not. It's the same game, really.
The
NES game actually added a couple levels.
The ice level, which I always liked. You had those snowmen that came bouncing in, and they shot missiles at you.
There is an enemy, I think, though, that you cut off its head and it
I think it was right before the Technodrome.
The Rock? Was it the Rock? Yeah, was that one of those Rock monsters?
He had a hockey stick.
Oh, yeah. The Japanese level.
I just hit myself in the mouth with my mic.
Way to go.
But anyways, yes, it was. It was that level with all the tigers coming out of the paintings. A great game, I think, anyways. It's one of the classic beat-em-ups.
It was awesome back in the day, but if you play the arcade game and then play the NES game, it really is like the piss-poor NES version.
Hey, the arcade game is what it is. That's what it is. It is what it is. Was Turtles in Time better, or do you still take Turtles 2?
Turtles in Time, probably. It had more fun gameplay. You could throw foot soldiers at the screen in 3 dimensions and shit, yeah.
I like the Turtles 2 game. You had your white foot soldiers, right? They had swords. You had the yellow ones.
Well, that's the thing with those kinds of games, too, is it's after the first couple levels, they're so repetitive, but at the same time, they're so, what's the word? They're just so fun to play.
My favorite level is probably the street one, where you're on your skateboards and you're going through the street. Then April O'Neil tries to drive the car and crashes it.
What about the third one on NES, the Manhattan Project?
I haven't played it too much, no.
No, that's pretty good. I actually probably like that one better than 2. And then the Hyper Stone Heist. You ever play that one on the Sega Genesis?
No. Never a big Sega fan. I never played too much Sega.
Well, that's the thing.
That's my problem.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is generally, if a game came out on the Super Nintendo, once in a while, Konami did this a lot. Actually, they would release a totally different game on the Sega, like Castlevania 4 on Super NES. Well, Sega had a game called Castlevania Bloodlines, I think. Which was a totally different game, but if you didn't have a Sega, you missed out on it. Same with Turtles. The Super Nintendo one ported over Turtles in Time, but the Genesis had Hyper Stone Heist, which had a lot of the same gameplay, but it was futuristic, and you flew on hovercrafts and stuff.
Turtles in Time probably was the definitive title. Maybe.
Yeah, they remade it actually on the PlayStation. It was like Turtles in Time hybrid or something.
So what about what do we got here? Pulp Fiction.
Great movie.
Aren't you a big Pulp Fiction fan? Now I remember it's
I am.
It's what, the boxer with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And then there's
John Travolta and Sam Jackson.
Hitman, right? Hitman for hire of Marcellus Wallace, who also
and that's
is the
being
same
Rames,
boss.
right?
Yep, and that's the same guy that's employed Bruce Willis to throw his fight. Right? And it's kind of a complex movie if you see it for the first time. Actually, who hasn't seen Pulp Fiction?
It took me a long time to see that movie.
What do you like about it? Do you like the structure? Or do you like the work, the writing, or just the overall? Just
the writing, the structure.
I think the structure is really cool.
It's
all interwoven.
The best way I can say it is it's a movie for people who like movies. It's like you said, it's hard to put my finger on it, but yeah, I love the writing. I love the dialogues and the conversations.
It's a mix of humor and violence.
Yeah,
which is fun. They act like it's when they're on the way to kill those guys, they're talking about Whoppers in Paris. Like it's no big deal. We should have fucking shotguns, shouldn't we? Remember that? Yep. So there could be 6 guys up there. But yeah, there's fucking shotguns. Oh, I'm sorry.
Stuck this heavy piece of metal in my ass.
Let's get into character. Yeah, but it's all cool. I like how you see John Travolta die in the bathroom,
giving a bitch a foot massage and eating a bitch out in the most holiest places ain't the same damn thing. It ain't even the same ballpark.
Yeah, it's not in the same sport. That's right. Would you ever give a guy a foot massage?
Fuck you.
What does Marcellus Wallace look like?
What?
What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
What?
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Yes.
Then you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
Could very well be the best part in the movie. I love that whole speech he does from the Bible. That was so cool. I love at the end of the movie, too. He's like, well, I didn't know what that shit meant. I just said it. I thought it was some cold-blooded shit to say to a motherfucker before I popped the cap in his ass. It's all very self-relevant. And, like I said, I love how you see John Travolta die first, in the bathroom. Isn't it Bruce Willis that goes back? He goes back to his apartment for the watch, right?
Give me oral pleasure.
I told her, on the kangaroo bedside table. And he goes back and gets those Pop-Tarts. And it's really the Pop-Tarts that kill him. Because he's got Travolta at gunpoint. And when the Pop-Tarts pop out, that just instinctively he shoots him. You could almost blame the Pop-Tarts. It's all one word I can define Pulp Fiction is fate. It's all about fate.
John Travolta was really fucking stupid in that movie to leave his gun right out in the open.
Took a quick shit. You wouldn't think.
Still.
But remember what happens later in the movie is when the guy goes out and tries to kill him, and Samuel Jackson saw it as divine intervention.
Yeah.
And he said, "That's it. I'm leaving." And Travolta did not see it as divine intervention. And you see what happened later. The structure of it was so cool, and not many movies have done that.
Well, it's so amazing, too, though, just the power of editing that people... Like the movie Memento, did you ever see that?
Of course. Oh, yeah. That's one
I never saw it, but that's the movie where it's all kind of done in reverse.
Seen it?
No, but it's told in reverse, right? Isn't it? Kind of starts from the end.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, yeah.
Originally, from what I understand, that movie was actually edited sequentially, and it wasn't really working, so they decided, let's tell it in reverse order, and it worked better that way.
It's Christopher Nolan, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in psychology class, of all things.
Did you?
I remember that. Yeah, it was very cool.
But that's the thing, just something edited, if you tell Pulp Fiction in a linear fashion, it probably isn't as effective.
There's a lot of nice, I like the old drug overdose when she overdosed on heroin, right? And John Travolta's freaking out because it's the boss's wife.
Yeah.
So he drives over to his drug dealer's house,
I was really surprised at how entertaining that movie was. I remember when when I first saw it, I couldn't sit through it. I think it was because of the it does kind of drag in certain areas. Like when they first introduced Bruce Willis as the boxer, that scene really drags for some reason. Was
it when it's just on him?
I think so. It might be when Christopher Walken first comes in that long speech
the watch story. I like the watch story.
Well,
Stuck it up his ass.
I like it too, but it does kind of take forever because it's just Christopher Walken in that scene.
It's a monologue. It's a monologue.
Very long monologue.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's good though. I like it.
But once you get past and even the Bruce Willis stuff up to the point where he leaves and he goes to look for his watch, then the movie picks up and it's never.
And
stops.
I love it, motherfucker. I love that. I always love that guy was a maniac. I saw everything. He hit you, and then he hit that tree over there. I'll be damned. And they both fall into the store, right? With the don't they run into the store together?
Yeah.
Zed.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. You gonna shoot him, boy?
Yeah.
This one was gonna shoot that one. I like when Bruce Willis comes in all full of blood, and the guy's just like, "Can I help you with something?" Shut the fuck up. Hold on. What the fuck are you up to? Feel that sting, big boy? That's pride fucking with you. Anyways, I could talk forever about it. It is a great film, and I'm glad you watched it.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs got to be next on your list. Until then.
Yeah, I gotta
Say
buy
sorry.
that movie. It's only like $5.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. That's another real cool one about a bank heist. But anyways, you got a topic you want to talk about? Anything
I'm
at all?
looking forward to in August. There's this big ass Friday the 13th documentary coming out. It's supposed to be 7 hours. I mean,
wow.
That's and it's Blu-ray exclusive from what I understand. And I'm definitely gonna buy this motherfucker because it's there's a documentary that Tom Savini
I saw that.
produced.
His name
His name was
was Jason.
Jason, and it's a decent documentary, but it doesn't hold a prayer to Never Sleep Again, the Elm Street Legacy, which is a 4-hour documentary on the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Yeah.
So the Friday the 13th one, it's called Crystal Lake Memories. And it's 7 hours, and it'll cover every movie in the franchise from the original 1981 to the remake. Just all the interviews.
Was it
and
81?
everything. Huh?
Was it 81?
80.
80.
1980 was when it was first released.
Your book seems to be the definitive source of.
Well, that's the thing. The book is Crystal Lake Memories,
Yep.
so the documentary is like the film version.
Based on.
But I mean, yeah, that is a great.
When
read.
does that come out?
August. I am fucking psyched. The
Let's
other
go
thing
in
that's
on it.
happening this year is that for the first time, apparently, Warner Brothers has the distribution rights for all of the Friday the 13th movies because the first 8 were owned by Paramount, and the last 3 were done by New Line Cinema.
That to you, didn't I mention that to you? Or did you already know that? Didn't I
Well,
say, hey, look, Paramount sold the
Yeah,
rights?
you said that Paramount had the rights to the franchise again, but Warner
kinda
Brothers has the distribution home video rights.
Well, good.
So there's a Blu-ray set of all 12 movies coming out this year. I'm really psyched because that never happens. You usually have the 8 Paramount films together and then the 3 New Line films together. But to have
Why
them
would
all
you
together
really
in one
want
set-
9, 10 in the remake? Would you really want those? I mean, really, what makes you really want those that bad?
I'm a fan. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're good movies. I'm just saying they're. It's like
You know what I mean? Though it's like
being a Godzilla
not that
fan, though.
great.
You know, it's fun to have them all. It's fun to collect them all. If they have a nice box set that's got them all, fuck it. You know, who cares?
Fuck it. Yeah, all right,
It's like
fair enough.
Godzilla.
We should go in on the Blu-ray set. We'll buy it together. The documentary. We'll split it.
Bite yourself.
I'll come over every other week and borrow it and bring
fuck
it
you.
over. I want to watch it. I would be down for 7 hours is a long time. That must be like an hour film. You know,
It's pretty sweet.
You know,
The Never Sleep Again documentary is awesome.
yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, we'll have to sit and watch that. It's pretty sweet.
Jeez, I know. Any more?
It's cool because the guy who
Sorry
plays
about
the guy who plays Kincaid in part 4, he was like, he was telling all his friends, when you go see this movie, don't get no popcorn, don't see the previews, get right in there and see the movie because I'll be fucking dead within the first 5 minutes.
Oh, Kincaid said that. Yeah. I don't look at your ugly ass.
Freddie, where you hiding at, you burnt face pussy?
Now we got some fucking fireworks going off. All right, well, how about this?
Happy Independence Day, by the way.
Yeah, I guess so. Analyst of Trilogy Retarded.
Okay. What?
All right, so one night, I didn't call it Retarded Trilogy. I called it Trilogy Retarded.
Oh, the Retarded Trilogy.
Yeah, you, me, and Dan, we got together.
And anal esis.
I think it might have been my idea in a way. I said, let's all 3 make our own film. Like, you had the lighting. Remember that? You brought the lighting out. You had the whole room
We had just seen
illuminated.
Grindhouse, and we were like, wouldn't it be cool if all 3 of us made a fucking Grindhouse movie in my fucking
Well, they
bedroom?
weren't Grindhouse, but they were like, we should all make our own movie. And the other 2 guys that were in the room said, okay, well, whatever you want us to do, we're going to do. And it was very impromptu. I think we storyboarded some of it.
We didn't storyboard it. Impromptu is the way it is, man. It's impromptu.
Did we storyboard anything? I don't know. Well, which one do you want to go over first? Pick one, and we're going to just talk about it real quick. Because we each had our own film.
Horny Henry, the one I directed.
Which I think is probably the best one of the 3. Was
Yes.
by Lenny, even though he's in it too. But me and Dan were saying, okay, we'll do
it's
whatever.
a bird. It's a plane.
It's the most memorable because you stuck the pillow in my fucking shirt, and I looked like an idiot. And I had an aluminum foil. Did I have like an aluminum foil hat?
You had like a piece of paper badge, and you had like a plastic tin cup as your hat.
Was it a
duct
tin
taped.
cup? Was it a tin
No,
cup?
what it was when you buy a spindle of DVDs, Blink DVDs, it's the plastic thing that they go in, and we duct taped it to your head. And then you had a piece of shit name badge that you just taped.
Yeah.
It was a piece of paper, of lined paper on your
Wasn't
chest.
bad. And Horny Henry's a pretty good name. I mean, for a superhero.
What's his full name?
The Rectum Warrior.
Here we go.
It's Horny Henry, the Rectum Warrior.
Yeah, and I did.
I'll save you, retarded.
What really makes it was Dan with his whole speech. No, his whole speech of. Help
me, I've been captured after 6 weeks. Jenner the Jewish douchebag captured me.
I like the angle you use when you're on the ground and he goes, and he uses his hand. No, you're like on the ground.
You so coony, Henry.
Well,
I'm going to jump
I was
to
so
my
hot
death
that
now.
day. It was so hot down there, and you had all the lighting, and I had a pillow under my fucking pants, and all this shit was going on. Well, you know what I mean, yeah. And I tried to save him. And that's probably the funniest part too, is when I drop him and his neck hits you. God, oh, I want to, It's so fast. It's only like a minute long, but it's so quick. But it's probably the most memorable
and the most offensive.
Commend you. So, anyways, what's the other two? Pick one.
The clown killer. Interview of a clown killer.
Dan's choice, and he went first, I believe, didn't he?
Yeah.
I believe Dan went first, and it was just an interview between me and Lenny. That was pretty much it. I was a prison inmate called Matt the...
Uncle Matt, the naughty clown.
The naughty clown. Who was your name? Stone Phillips.
Yeah.
And you had the tie.
And he was like hitting on me, so we were like going to go like on a gay date to go see the
Lion King. It was one of the most awkward interviews ever. Yeah. I like that tie you're wearing.
Tell me on the doll where they touched you, and I had like a fucking cell phone as a doll.
Tell me on the doll. He turned it into a Mogwai. The desserts of cake. It was all that lived.
Desserts of cake.
And my little
raspberry cake.
That one's relatively short too. We shot that real quick. There's some funny moments. I mean,
now tell us about that third one, because even I found that kind of offensive. I won't. To this day, I won't.
That's all right with me.
I won't show that to anybody because it's so offensive.
Yeah, it's a little dark. Mine was a little darker.
It's called The Problem with Dad.
Me and Dan always had not. I have to be careful here. I don't say the right word, but we always, would find humor in your, hey, Lenny! And you go, what? God damn it, what? And, we just thought it would be funny, and it wasn't as good as I thought or I wanted it to be. I held the camera, and I was a little too,
You're the director,
I was
man.
real excited about. I was real excited about holding the camera. I was really excited about that. I was like, this is so cool. And if you watch that, I'm kind of like, I probably overdid it quite a bit, but I really love being able to film something. That was real exciting for me. And there's a couple of it's okay. I like when you come in and I swivel around. You can see Dan all tucked in the bed. I need my box set. No, he had probably the best line. Well, change my depends then.
I need underwear.
Underwear. Yeah. The one thing I wasn't happy with was definitely
my stub.
I like how I talk too. I'm like, oh, you're too fat. I'm like saying out loud. It's so bad. I didn't like the ending. That was stupid. That was a bad thing to do. It ended on such a down note. It was like fucking Clerks. I was like, oh, okay, let's shoot him. And then he looks up. Right before the credits roll, Dan looks back up. Oh, are we done? What we do, like 3 takes there? Yeah. It was all.
What, goddammit, what?
It's a little fun. I like when you come in and you roll your eyes. Yeah.
I had a good time filming it, though.
Yeah, my stuff. It's kind of funny. What? God damn it! What? You shit your pants last time we watched it. Well, change my depends then. I'll see your laugh. It's funny. All three of them have their charms. Like I said, the only thing I didn't like was definitely the ending. That was a little weird. You throw the clothes on him and he's like, "Ooh, I'm too fat. I'm too." Just shoot him. Hold on, Dad.
And it's got the Rob Zombie music playing because Amanda called me, and I had the Rob Zombie. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, all three.
Regular.
It's a nice little trilogy. I had a great time. That was one of our favorite nights.
I had a lot of fun filming that.
You went all out. You had the lighting in the room. You had it all fixtured up. We still like that.
We should watch that tonight. That was fun.
That one took a lot out of me. Anything else you want to talk about? I only had a few. Nothing really that exciting.
Yeah, not really. This is probably going to be a pretty short. Go ahead.
Why, but I'm a big Alfred Hitchcock fan. He's one of my favorites.
Sure.
You recently watched one called Vertigo.
Yeah,
which I believe. No, I don't even probably
like
remember.
6 months ago, a little bit.
Was it the detective that follows the woman? Right. This is not going to go anywhere. No, he thought it. His friend called him up and said, "I think my wife's possessed." Right? Isn't that how it went?
Yeah.
I mean, she's possessed by somebody, and he follows her, and he sees her acting all weird, and
And they're setting him up, aren't they?
Yeah, in the end, but you don't know the first time you watch it. And he kind of falls in love with her. He thinks she's beautiful, and she jumps in the bay, and he rescues her, and then
I'd have to see.
She's kind of pretending to be possessed. She says, "Oh my God," and she.
Yeah, I'd have to see it again. I think you got the impression I didn't like it, and it's not that. I did enjoy it.
No,
but it seems like it's a very kind of multi-layered film. Like
It
you said,
is.
a lot of movies like that are are more than skin deep.
Yeah,
So
yeah, there you go.
So yeah, that's one I could actually see myself watching again.
It's an emotional because it's like the perfect woman you're trying to visualize. And he tries to make her over. What happens is she falls off the bell tower, and you think she's dead. Blah 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 blah, and then you see Judy, I think her name was. She had red hair, very attractive woman. That Code Novak, by the way. But yeah, she had like red hair, and he recognized her. She looked just like her. And he was interested in her, and the more he saw her, and then...
she was saying the whole time that it wasn't really her, it wasn't really the one he fell in love with, she was this other woman, but at the end, isn't she the real...
Well, what's cool is halfway through the film, they reveal you the secret.
Yeah.
Before he does.
Yeah.
Which is really cool when you think about
Dramatic
it, because...
irony.
Well, no, you're wondering what he's going to do. And that's one thing Hitchcock loved doing, was revealing the secrets before his characters found out.
Yeah.
You, the audience, knew, but he didn't. And that's kind of what adds that tension.
Yeah,
you kind of go,
called
well, how's he going to
irony.
react? Yeah, how's he?
Shakespeare used that a lot.
Yep, and he notices, and near the end of the film, he notices the necklace on, and he said, "You shouldn't have kept a souvenir from a murder. You shouldn't have been that sentimental." It's real moving because he I loved you, but it seems silly, but I think it was a very expressive film too. I think Hitchcock was really trying to express the idea of the perfect woman.
At the end, doesn't he try to save her, and once again she falls?
The ending's a little silly, but what I like is that his vertigo's cured. You can tell when she falls.
I don't know, because
ironically, he's just standing there, and he doesn't get. He looks down. If you remember, there's that one point in the movie she says, well, no, doctors say it might just take another emotional shock to get you out of it. Because he had vertigo. He couldn't. Because remember in the beginning of the film, a police officer fell to his death. Remember that? And he tried to save him, but his vertigo
I interpreted the first time I saw it,
Yeah.
the only time I saw it, I interpreted the ending as she fell again,
Mhm.
or she fell,
Yeah.
and so he's kind of forced to go through it again, like he's
In a way,
traumatized
yeah.
again.
But
That's
you
what I
look
got
the
out
way
of
he
it.
looks down, it suggests that he's not dizzy or nothing. He's been
Oh.
cured of his vertigo, but he paid a big price for it.
Maybe,
And that's why he was picked to be tricked, because they knew he couldn't get up the bell tower because of his vertigo.
Right.
That's why his friend picked him. And yeah, it was the wife had already been killed. Her neck snapped, and he threw her off the tower. And when the fake Madeline got up there, blah blah blah. Very complex mystery. Like I said, I really like how he revealed the secret.
I liked
before.
it.
It's a clever thing to do, because most movies you'd want to reveal at the end of the film. But there was a big debate what you should do at the end or the middle. He thought it was better to have it in the middle.
Yeah.
And the audience, like I said, he loved toying with audiences. That's what Hitchcock was the best at, was toying with the audience.
Yeah.
It was a game, and very few directors have definitely done something like that.
Yeah, I'm starting to really like Hitchcock. Between the three that I've seen
and
so
you saw
far,
the documentary. That pretty much is a documentary, is it?
Yeah.
Hitchcock Making of Psycho.
Well, it's a biopic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you do watch Vertigo, and it's really great. It's got Jimmy Stewart, who I really like, and that's probably his best performance. It's a really good. He's a little stuttering, tall. There's a really trippy dream sequence too when he has a dream of her, and like there's all these different colors and everything.
Oh, yeah.
The soundtrack is amazing as well. Bernard Herrmann, a legend. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I was just for some reason I had Vertigo here because I like that movie a lot.
You had asked a question last.
I know
well,
you watched
not a
it.
question. You
What?
had a statement about what's the best trilogy ever.
Oh, no, that's not a bad question.
So
We were going between Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, but I don't even know if I would. That's a hard one.
Some could say The Godfather because the first two movies would probably beat out most of the other films and other trilogies, but you could say maybe Godfather
not to
trilogy,
me, because Godfather to me, I don't think every. I don't know.
It's a good question. It's a hard question. I mean, it's almost impossible to answer.
The way I see Godfather, and I can't really speak for everybody, but it doesn't seem like that's the kind of movie that it's not a movie for everybody. I don't know. The Godfather for me kind of ends with the first film. The second movie, even though it's considered like one of the best movies of all time and one of the best sequels,
I didn't like the second movie.
I thought it was okay. I cared more for the Robert De Niro stuff.
That part was cool.
The younger Don Corleone.
I didn't
stuff.
care about what happened to Michael after the original Godfather.
Some of the stuff
when that door closed, it was over.
Yeah, well, some of the stuff that happens to him, like the stuff with his brother and everything, was cool. I just thought that part, I never liked the political side of the Godfather.
Yeah,
I
not
got
so
really
much.
lost in the gangster politics, and that's where I don't understand all that.
I love that end though, and he's just like,
Yeah.
well, this is one time you can ask me about my business.
And I thought the first one was more character
Is it
developed.
true? And he goes, no. And she goes, aw. And she gets that look like she believes him, but then when she looks back and she sees them all kissing.
Did you ever
hand,
see the there's an alternate ending of the first Godfather? It's on when it airs on TV once in a while. There's a version where at the very end it shows Kay and she's she's like praying for Michael because she knows that he's still in a life of crime.
Right.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's if you look it up on YouTube, it's like the TV altered ending.
Sounds like it'd be in part 2 because there's a lot of that kind of moments too. And she said, "I didn't want your bastard child" or something like that. Or
there were some heavy moments, but again, it's just the politics of the second.
Well, what's
one.
talked about the Godfather is that he killed his sister's husband. I mean, that was harsh to do.
Yeah.
When they get him in the backseat of the car. Well, he set up Sonny, and that's why they got him killed. But remember, his sister came running in. That's your husband. That's your. He tries to hug her, and she's like, "No!" That shit's real dramatic.
Yeah,
I love Pacino. She's hysterical. Get her a doctor.
But that's the thing. Like when I think of really good trilogies, like The Godfather is just so intricate. Don't get me wrong, and that's fine. But I want something that's purely entertainment, and not something that's stupid. But like when I think of good trilogy, and people I know roll their eyes when I say this, but Back to the Future.
Not bad. Not a bad choice.
But it's like that Back to the Future defines the 80s, and people have a hard time dealing with the 80s, even if a lot of good things came out of that decade. You say Back to the Future, and they're all of a sudden like, oh, well, you're just an 80s fan.
Well, doesn't Lord of the Rings pretty much dominate the 2000s?
Yeah.
All right.
Why is it like, not good? Like if you watch Back to the Future, if you like that trilogy, why is that so taboo? But yet people love the original Star Wars trilogy, and two of those 3 movies were in the 80s. So I don't understand, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the taboo nature of
Back to the Future. Back to the Future is not a bad choice.
And that's
the first 2 movies I like a lot, and the third one I do like, but the third one had some faults I thought. But hey,
I
didn't like the whole Doc Brown in love thing. That was a little.
See,
I didn't like the girl. I didn't like her, and she got all whiny and she was on the train. Oh, save me! Save me!
I liked it though because it was like an old-fashioned western, and not really. It didn't do a really
my
good
favorite
job
part in part 3 was when Biff shoots him, and he's just kind of like,
Yeah.
He just does a little.
Nobody calls me a mad dog, especially not some yellow belly gutter trash.
Yeah. No, 3's pretty good. I got to rewatch it. And I love the ending of 3. 3 has a great ending. 3's
one of those movies
make your future as best as you
3
can.
3 gets better with time. I didn't like 3 at all when I first saw it, and it gets better with time. I really enjoy 3 now.
Well, the first movie too is just solid. I love that first film so much. It's almost a masterpiece.
That's another one too, though. Where when I usually tell people that I like part 2 the best, I get a lot of like weird stares. Like you like the second one better than the first. Well, why not? If you look at that second movie, like the only way a sequel can really be better is if it continues the story, but at the same time it does certain things to feel familiar.
Yep.
But it also does enough things different to make it feel fresh, and you're also it feels like a necessary sequel.
It's the only sequel I can think of that really integrates the first film into it. And it does it perfectly.
Because originally, what I like about part 2,
yeah,
and I think it's one of Robert Zemeckis' most interesting films, is that originally the characters were going to go back to the 70s, and the mom, Leah Thompson, was going to be like a flower child, and Crispin Glover was going to be like a professor, and that was kind of interesting. But what they decided to do was to go back to the exact scenario of the first film and look at the first film from a different point of view. And that's, when you have time travel, you've got a rare instance when you can do that. And I also got parts 1 and part 2 confused a lot as a kid because part 2 has a lot of scenes from the first movie.
Well, that's what I liked
but that's what's really interesting to me. And then the future, I mean, it's 2013 right now. So in 2 years, we're supposed to have like the automatic tying shoes and the flying cars.
It's all about the imagination.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's interesting, and they hit that right on the spot. It goes back to what I was saying about the 80s when Michael J. Fox actually goes to the Cafe 80s, and they go in and everything's all fucked up like the Michael Jackson. I mean, it's so funny.
Was part 2 when Biff was like the rich guy in the mansion?
Yeah.
2 McFlies, the same gun. I own the bullies.
They couldn't match up the bullet that killed your old man.
That's probably my favorite part of the movie.
What's the name of the cemetery in that movie where Crispin Glover's buried?
Is it the same one that's in It's a Wonderful Life?
I don't know.
Right, it's reminiscent of that scene, though.
Oak Park Cemetery.
Oh,
which is the city where I grew up in, Oak Park.
It's right there?
Oak Park Cemetery.
Is it really? That's the one that I go to?
Well, no, that's the name of the cemetery.
Oak
Park Cemetery.
That's the real location?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's probably Oak Park, Idaho. I don't know. Idaho.
I remember that. You remember It's a Wonderful Life when he goes to the graveyard with the angel and that's my brother.
Your father's been the same place he's been for the last 15 years. Oak Park Cemetery.
All those people died because your brother wasn't there to save them.
Because your brother's a piece of shit. You should have died.
Oh no, that movie showed a great example of the worth we have as people on Earth. We do make a difference.
I just actually you're not going to believe this, but I just sat through It's a Wonderful Life from beginning to end for the first time last year. And it was a good movie, but the thing that ruined that movie for me was that movie has been parodied and told so many times by
that's
so
not
many.
fair.
Well-
That's not fair to the film.
Well, it's not, but it's really hard to kind of look at it and see what's so great about
try.
it when you've heard the story so many times in other venues.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough. We don't take anything away from the film, I hope.
Well, it kind of did. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's unfair then. That's a shame. It's a great film. Are you kidding me? It does. More than anything, it explains our work.
Well, it's like
know.
I was saying with Ninja Turtles and the Casablanca dialogue. Like, you watch Casablanca, and then you notice certain pieces of dialogue. Even me, having never seen that movie before, I could recognize certain pieces of dialogue because I saw it in fucking Turtles 2 first.
Some regard it as the best script ever written. I've read that. But it's actually voted as being almost the best because
Roger Ebert actually said that he's never read a bad review on Casablanca.
it's hard not to like Casablanca. If you love film, I don't get it then if you don't like it because it's such a rich movie. There's just so much going on. There's not really a dull frame. I don't mean to talk on about it, but I do love Humphrey Bogart a lot. He's one of my favorite old classic actors, and he had a beautiful woman in Ingrid Bergman.
And don't get me wrong.
And a great story.
There's a lot of people out there who claim to love movies that they would never go out and watch a black and white old movie like that. It's just not their thing, and I totally get that. But, I study film. I wanted to make a career of film, and if I don't get a career in film, I want to at least continue.
But you're a writer.
I want to keep pursuing it, though.
And I'll tell you, that film's greatest strength is the writing.
A lot of films are,
but
but let me ask you, though, when you go to a movie...
all the gin joints in all the world, she walks into mine.
You probably paid more attention to the writing than most people do. But honestly, when you go to a movie, how many of you guys actually pay attention to the writing?
Well,
you usually don't.
You have to. You're looking. You're watching.
You pay attention to the CGI fake
Yeah,
robots.
well, that's the problem with movies. Well, not the problem, but, I don't know what to say. I prefer,
good writing.
Well, and a good story. It always comes first. Story always comes first.
That's why I always liked Kevin Smith. He doesn't make the most visually compelling films, but the writing.
His writing is.
He's very good at writing his scripts. And
all
it
the
comes
gin
across.
joints in all the world.
That wasn't Kevin Smith.
I know. I was just thinking of that movie. Play it. Play it. If she can stand it, I can.
That's actually one of the most misquoted lines ever.
Right. She says, "Play it for old time's sake." I don't know what you mean, Miss Alpha.
Play it, you racist motherfucker.
Play as time goes by. I love that song too. That is a really beautiful song, though. Okay,
Barack Obama recently, I think, before his recent re-election, he quoted that actor for playing as time goes by. He quoted that actor as being like his favorite.
You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
Like song.
My hair is curly. We got trouble. How much trouble? It's funny too. It's really funny.
It's a funny movie.
It really. I mean, consider it's a 70-year-old movie. It really. Then it really dawns on you just how advanced that was.
Yeah.
And if I had it in the top 3, I don't know if that means anything, but I mean, it's definitely an icon of cinema these days.
Fuck it. Toxic Avenger goes off my top 25. Yeah. Casablanca.
Yeah. Well, it might. Yeah. Someday it just might. You never know. Now you're not replacing that film, but maybe I don't know. Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters.
Oh no, was that on your list?
No.
No. Okay. All right. I bet the girls like it. Huh? What about the animals? Huh? Janos. I await the word of Vigo.
Lucy, he's just one accent away from fucking Ricky Ricardo.
You told me this already. If
If
you have the baby, can I have the woman? So be it.
She will be wife to you and mother to me.
Yes!
Thank you, Lord.
He's like, thank you, Lord. Thank you. Fuck that Statue of the Red. That's so tough. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. My fault. Look at a fucking Nintendo joystick.
Nobody steps in a church in my town.
I'll get you a date with a Jelly Green Giant.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it, whether she's naked under that toga?
She was French.
It's a good movie. They just said the Titanic arrived. Well, better late than never.
You ain't getting a green card with that attitude, pal.
It's a funny movie.
There's some funny ones. Everything you're doing is terrible. I just want you to know. Everything you're doing. I think
you're
she
one of my
likes
two
me.
favorite shows. Oh, what's your other one? Bass fishing.
Oh, nobody! Dana Barrett!
I didn't
Hold my ears. Anyway,
I need to feel loved. I need to feel desired. Come on, that's not a bad movie.
Here's Looking at You, Kid. That's another good. Here's Looking at You, Kid. All the gin joints.
That's another one that came from Turtles. What? In the animated series, there was a scene where they were all in trench coats, and Raphael goes, "Here's Looking at You, Kid."
Oh yeah, that one. Everyone knows. Well, see, you don't even need to know. What's great about that is you don't even need to know the movie, and you'll know it. And that's what's so weird. And there's lots of other. There's even more lines. It's like it's just a rich. Anyways. Anyways. Whew. It's hot up here. So what do you want to talk about? Any other topic you had? Anything you want to talk about?
We never did figure out the best movie trilogy. What's your favorite?
Back to the Future is a good choice because all three are pretty. I like a lot. I'd probably go with Star Wars. Probably in the end. Yeah.
It's hard to say.
It is hard.
I said Back to the Future because that one I can watch endlessly. Like Star Wars, I think I've overwatched Star Wars.
You don't even need to pick favorites. You like to pick favorites a lot. I know you do. It's one of your favorite things to do.
So what? It goes without saying. Like, what's your favorite whatever?
I
it's
just
a very
don't like
basic
picking
question.
movies or other movies.
Well, these don't have to be permanent favorites, though. Just at the moment I'm asking what,
Yeah, that's true. I want to meet these motherfuckers that talk shit to you at your work. I'll defend you.
Yeah, right.
I want to meet them. I want to be like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Citizen Kane was awesome. Citizen Kane was an awesome movie, and then the guy will be like, I just fucking said that.
Sucked. Fuck you!
Then you'll be on their side.
Orson Welles was an asshole.
I gotta tell you something, though. That Zombieland pilot was fucking great.
Yeah, you loved
fuck
it.
you people for not liking it. I mean, oh no, Woody Harrelson can't come back.
I think the zombie thing is getting a little overdone, maybe. They're getting tired of it all. I mean, I think I am. I've had enough zombies. It's been around for 40 years now. And
but it's fucking Zombieland.
But Zombieland was a very nice, fresh take on it. I did like that one.
And so was the TV series. I'll be honest with you. Zombieland is my favorite zombie movie. I would take Zombieland over Walking Dead any day.
Well, yeah. And I think that's the main problem is The Walking Dead's already on, and it's like, why would you have another zombie show?
It's a totally different take on it, though. Walking Dead really has no humor at all. I mean, it takes itself very seriously. Zombieland was pretty much all laughs. I mean,
it was pretty fun.
It was pretty funny because they're looking for survivors this whole show, and every survivor they found, there's one, and it gets killed by a fucking zombie.
Hey guys, Jerry, no!
The guy who plays fucking Tallahassee, she's like, God fucking damn it, motherfucker!
We just got hijacked by a 12-year-old. She's real fast, ninja. What does he say? Ninja skills. I forgot what he says. He wanted a Twinkie too, right?
They do everything. They do the zombie kill of the week in there.
Hey, you like the Mortal Kombat movie, right? We were talking about that at work the other day. Mortal Kombat, the movie. Oh my god, we were quoting it all the time, having so much fun with it.
I smell something.
Dino.
Bullshit.
It's true, Prince Girl. Why else would I choose such a discrepable-looking cretin? That's my favorite.
There she is.
No dignity.
Right on time.
Yeah. I love punctuality in a woman. Don't you, Mr. Shang Tsung?
What I saw down there was absolutely disgusting.
You mean something like underground? I'm something of a boss myself, you too, back now. I'll love you for them, back hole.
Yeah. Stupid.
I'm Goro! I do not fail!
Prince of the Shokan and the
Subterranean
ambassador of the King Dicksuckers.
Subterranean? Is that like something like underground?
It's like fucking Timmy from South Park.
Something like that. I was stressing though. I thought the fights were awesome. I was talking to this guy working. And, we were agreeing. The fights were great. I said the Sub-Zero was the only disappointing one. It was a cool fight, but way too short. I thought Sub-Zero deserved.
Get down here!
No, Scorpion and the reptile fight was sweet too. The reptile Liu Kang fight was real sweet.
I don't know. That was stupid.
No, so the Scorpion Johnny Cage takes the cake.
Yeah,
that was definitely the highlight of the film almost to me.
I saw that recently.
Shadow kick. You had
that movie's not very good. And I remember
welcome.
Mortal Kombat. I was pissed because I didn't get to go see it in theaters. My parents wouldn't take me. So when the second one came out, me and a buddy went to go see it.
No, don't get me started on Annihilation.
And it was a terrible movie, but at the same time, the first movie isn't that good either. So
but Annihilation is completely
sucks.
annihilated.
But I mean, they're both stupid movies.
Mother,
honestly.
you're alive. Too bad you
will die. It's like fucking Power Rangers.
Fucking was it Shokan? Is that his name? Who was the other villain?
Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn? Yeah.
You are pathetic. You weak, pathetic fools! I've come for your souls.
Yeah. I like Mortal Kombat though. You know, the fate of millions will rest upon you. Sorry. No, the Scorpion Johnny Cage fight was probably the best because you also got the friendship. You know, or the
How do you like my new haircut?
I like Annihilation when Johnny Cage is a new actor. They kill him in like 2 minutes.
You suck.
There's like a cutscene to him. Poor guy had like, okay, here you go.
There's like a shadow kick to hell.
Didn't I tell you that? I'm sure you know about how
Suckers.
You know how Raiders and the guy with the big swords and everything. I think it was an interview with Harrison Ford. He was saying he felt so bad for the guy because he went through all this training. Like he literally, you know, the guy with the swords. He went through all this training, went all around the world. He busted his ass to do all that, and he finally got to the set and they go, "Well, we're just gonna shoot you." That's kind of funny. I mean, I would have been like, "Oh, come on." We're just gonna shoot you, man.
At least just fucking shoot the scene, so I feel like I did something useful.
It is kind of funny though, because I think they were supposed to fight in the original print, and then Harrison, I guess, was not feeling so well or something. Didn't he have like dysentery or something? Didn't he have like explosive diarrhea?
Yes.
It was something like that. He was in a bad mood. He just wanted to get it over with. Right? He said, "Oh, just shoot the fuck." I could just see that though. Oh, sorry, Hank. I know you just went around the world for 2 months training, but I'm just gonna shoot you. It's kind of funny. Oh, you know what else I had? Hey. Oh yeah, you're in a bed. We talked about this a couple times, but I want to talk about it one more time because I love it. You wake up in a bed. Your uncle tells you to stay in bed. He leaves, and you find a lamp. What am I?
Your Link.
In Link to the Past. So then you go out in the rain.
Figuring is Zelda.
In the rain. Find your uncle. He says, I was watching a review of Link to the Past because I was, you know how much we both love that video game. We have a lot for a lot.
Love it.
And he was explaining all the enhancements from the original game. It kept the original mechanics of the overhead,
right,
the wandering aspects, all of it, but it was like times 5.
Yep.
I mean, it was, it's incredible.
It's just a really fun game to play. Like that's what was so great about the Super Nintendo is that today, like, graphics don't mean anything. Games are you automatically expect that, you know, when you pay $60 for a game on a brand new console, it's gonna look fucking amazing. Graphics don't change the gameplay, but back then a game could look radically different, and by it looking better, it could actually play and feel better too.
And it looked great. I mean, I'll never forget when you go into those sewers for the first time with the lamp. And I've seen all kinds of cool I guess you call them magna, like different artwork. You know,
manga.
Helping her through the sewers.
Did you ever read Did you ever have Nintendo Power when you were a kid?
I've read a few.
Well, they did a serialized comic book of Link to the Past. It was actually a comic book.
That's pretty cool.
They serialized the whole story.
I love the story of Link to the Past.
Well, I'm looking forward to, and this is why I wish I had a 3DS. Link to the Past 2 is coming out for 3DS.
Sequel?
Yeah.
I would love a game like that, but just with a whole new world. It would be hard to top.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck that game. We're not talking about that. Actually, even Super Mario World 2 was another game I saw a review of. I was like, that was really the definitive title for that system because it really showed. You know, it's a really good Nintendo's statement.
A really good Mario game that's not really a Mario game, but it's the same category as
Mario?
Yoshi's Island.
Oh yeah.
Hotel Mario. What the fuck?
I hope you bring some lasagna.
I love CDI.
Oh, Luigi. It's a warp tube. We can go to World. Fuck yourself. Anyways.
Hey, there's the princess. Let's go rape her ass.
They did. They were like, oh. Morton Coot would come out of the tree. Those pesky flowers. I'm going to stick a banana up their tank. Anyways, but no, Yoshi's Island is awesome. What I like about Yoshi's Island is the graphics were really cool. It's all hand drawn, right?
Yeah.
And Yoshi can become different vehicles, which is really cool.
And that's another game though too, where the graphics really makes it really enhances the gameplay. So take off all your clothes.
Steam bath, I tell you. But anyways, I don't have any other topics. You got anything for me? I think I have like 2 left, maybe 3.
What are your topics? Go for it. I don't have anything.
Spielberg, baby. I actually put
Spielberg's Legacy from last time.
Yeah,
like, Spielberg's Legacy.
Oh, you know, I'm such an adamant Steven Spielberg.
We were talking
fan.
about Spielberg today,
director.
and
Where?
one guy was at work. Yeah, we were talking about all kinds of movies today.
Oh, here we go.
And they were like, at least you don't like Jaws 2, or at least you don't like Jaws Revenge better than Jaws 1. And I'm like, I actually really like Jaws 4 better than Jaws 1. Thank you. No.
Jaws the Revenge?
Yeah.
That's one of those horror movies.
They're like, did you like that movie? I'm like, not really. I mean, I didn't like any of them aside from the first one. But they were like, wasn't, because these guys are like in their early 20s still.
Sure.
And so they were like, wasn't Jaws his first movie? And I gave him like a whole history. I'm like, no, there was Duel, which you got to see Duel if you really like Jaws.
Yeah, Duel was pretty cool.
And then one that no one really seems to remember.
Sugarland
Express.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually just did. You ever see that movie?
No, you know what? And I should. Is it pretty good?
No. But that was his first theatrical one.
But you saw the promise he had. I think everyone kind of did.
It had Goldie. Well, there's nothing stand out about it. It was almost like a TV movie almost.
Well, Duel. I think Duel was really the one that people said this guy's gonna be good because he was only like 23 or 22 when he did that, and it was already a TV, and it's really good. It's a little redundant. It's hard to tell. You try to make a movie about that. I mean, that's
well, he
hard
didn't
to do.
even. The way he storyboarded that movie, he didn't do storyboards. He mapped out the entire highway that this movie was going to take place, where all the cameras were going to be and everything, and that was the storyboard. That's what he used.
Well, they would talk about how like they would speed up the camera to make the truck look like it's going 80 when it really wasn't. It was only going like 30.
Yeah.
But the way they would do it, it would make it look like it's going fast.
Right.
What a great looking truck too. Yeah. It's a great story. It could have been a good hour movie. It's hard for it to go an hour and a half because it just keeps doing little
It's got
things.
some good suspense. You can tell he borrowed some stuff from Hitchcock and stuff.
Oh, that happens everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I know.
You can't help but borrow. But he has lots of, I like how he's dominated almost every decade with nothing but fantastic films. And
I wouldn't say...
I can't say there's any other director better than him. I mean,
I wouldn't say in the last decade he's really dominated. Spielberg's kind
of... Oh, well, yeah, the
fallen
2000s you might have to... Yeah, I might count. But the 90s, obviously, one movie you love now that you also included in your list was Schindler's List.
Schindler's
really
List,
powerful
Saving
film.
Private Ryan, Jurassic Park. I mean, and he did these
Those were all
movies
mainstays. Jurassic Park... The two biggest movies when I was a kid were Jaws and Jurassic Park. Those two movies probably were just...
Well, Jaws was a 70s movie, so not when you were a kid necessarily.
It was for me. I remember watching those when I was 8 years. I played Jaws in the bathtub. I think I already told you about all that. I made an aluminum boat, and I would have like 4 army guys, and one would be Quentin and be like...
Did you ever hear Eddie
Murphy? Yeah, he always said it.
Did you ever hear Eddie Murphy's variation of playing with the shark in the water? No. He was talking about playing with the G.I. Joe in the water, and then his big brother was in the tub with him, wanted to add some excitement to the game, so then he took a shit in the tub, and then a big brown shark came, and G.I. Joe got stuck underwater.
But I really did, because I loved the thought of a shark being able to sink a ship. I thought that was so bitchin'. At the end of Jaws when it jumps on the boat. Yeah. But I would have my little guys, and I'd have Quint going, Hooper, you idiot, starboard, you watching it?
That ending was pretty freaky, though.
What? Oh, no music.
Yeah, when the shark comes
Cuts
up on the
all
boat.
The music out,
and then
there's
starts eating the boat and eats, what is Hooper?
It gets the shark hunter, Quint. Yeah,
it gets him.
He spits all that blood. Yeah. And then the chief's looking through the cabin for the shark comes busting through. Then he's got the harpoon. It's like
I made the point today, though, when we were talking. I was like, isn't it interesting that Jaws, aside from maybe Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, some of his more personal films, Jaws is really the movie he's really known for.
Yeah.
And that was one of his first earlier movies. So he kind of topped out too early, I think. But it's almost like a mistake. Like, Jaws really wasn't meant to be as good of a film as it did. I think the only reason why it worked was because they had so many problems with that damn shark.
Well, I think the main reason it worked was Spielberg. I think he was the main reason. To me, that was always the reason it worked was him, his talent.
You can have a lot. I mean, it's okay to have a lot of faith in a director, but granted, they wanted to show a lot more of the shark than they could. And had they shown more of that shark, the movie might not have worked. It might have been
would not have been as scary. And he even
I don't know, man. Little stuff like that.
What
can
makes
really
the film scary is you don't see the shark. That's what's scary.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is
under the water.
Had that shark worked like it was supposed to, that movie might not have worked the way you should have.
The shark is not working. Yeah. Richard Dreyfuss would say all day. That's all you would hear. The shark is not working. There were stories of the story of itself of its making is fun enough. Like the boat would actually really start sinking, and they're like, "Get the actors off the boat," and the crew's like, "Fuck that! Save the sound crew." That really happened. He's like, "Fuck that!" Because you had $1,000 cameras on board. You have to save. Fuck the actors. Yeah, it's really the perfect man versus nature story. It's a monster film. It is. I love that it doesn't show the shark. What it does is it makes you use your imagination. Every viewer, you think of what the shark would look like. That's what makes it so cool. Because as a viewer, it does make.
Let me ask you: when you finally see the shark, do you think it meets expectations?
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
One of the biggest strengths of Jaws 2 is the editing, the way it's edited. Yeah, it's crucial to that kind of a movie because there's times when the shark might look fake, but if you do it just right, Anyways. But no, not even just Jaws, but E.T. was huge. That was almost one of the biggest blockbusters of the decade, and that's also a movie I've really come to really embrace now. With Alien, I like it because it's a kids movie. It's a child's tale. It's all told from the perspective of the kids.
I never totally got E.T. I like it a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something.
But all the kids are good. That's what I like.
Yeah,
all the kids are solid.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
lots of funny parts.
It's really hard to find kids that are true, and if you do find child actors, they usually try to act, and that's what's phony about
What was his name?
him.
Henry Thomas? Was that his name?
Which one?
Elliot.
Played Elliot?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was what a performance by him.
I don't know what a lot of these actors are doing today. I know Dee Wallace is still active, but I was
Drew
watching.
Barrymore was in it.
Right. Well, she's obviously still active, but I was watching a documentary on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Sure.
The guy who played Charlie is like an accountant now. Just a regular, like, CPA accountant.
You talking about Willy Wonka's Charlie?
The old one.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Well, sure. Why wouldn't he be?
Well, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just like, you wonder, like, these guys these people who...
Had such a big role.
Acting is a hard thing to get into, don't get me wrong. But if you have a success, it just kind of baffles me how you fall out of it.
How did Seth Rogen keep his going? All right.
Kevin Smith actually blames that on his movie, on Zack and Miri.
Blames what? His success?
Seth Rogen's his.
Oh, he's on top of the world now these days.
Is he?
Oh, that's why I was asking. Why is someone? You were right. No, look at Henry Thomas in E.T., big blockbuster, and he had his performance was praised, but after that, he didn't do much of anything. You would think his career would have taken off, much like the guy from Gremlins that I always really liked.
Zach Galligan.
Yeah, he's done a few, but he never took off. He never.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't have that star power. Maybe he didn't. But I thought he was right for Gremlins. He fit that role perfect.
And that kind of thing I understand. Like, Zach Galligan doesn't have a lot of, I guess, star qualities. He is kind of like the boy next door in a sense, But even Phoebe Cates, what has she really done? You see her once in a while, I think.
She's
but
beautiful.
Yeah, but nothing.
She's very beautiful.
Major. Zach Galligan in an interview, I actually have a podcast saved of him somewhere. They're doing an interview with him, and he was talking about with Gremlins. People were asking if he had actually dated Phoebe Cates, and he was like, "No, are you kidding me? She was way out of my league." He seems like a very humble actor.
He's one of the ideal.
I'd love to meet him.
I like her. I do like. Yeah, no, and Spielberg produced that, didn't he? His name was attached to. He was everywhere in the '80s.
Yeah.
I don't mean to just wrap it. Hey, we can wrap up the Spielberg thing, but that's No, I like E.T. It's like a kid's story. You don't see any of the adult. There's lots of cool moments in E.T. They're really cute. The Halloween when they go trick or treating, they put the blanket over them with the holes.
Do you notice that?
Ouch!
Yeah,
stop. Fake.
Do you know the scene where they listen to the music? There's this one scene where they're trick or treating, and E.T. in his ghost costume passes by Yoda.
Yep.
And then you hear the little Yoda theme song play.
Yes.
It's pretty sweet.
Yep, and he shows them the action figurine. This is Boba Fett. It's a very innocent, beautiful movie. It really is. It seems like, because E.T. isn't even that pretty of an alien or nothing like that. He's not like anything
He's
you
just
would
very
think.
charming, yeah.
But him and Elliot, it gets sad because he starts to die. And there's those really sad scenes where you see him lying there dying. He's all white and looks, and you see the kid dying. And a lot of it gets real sad. It's like, wow. My favorite scene, I think, in the movie is when the doctor reaches in and says, "I'm so glad you found him before anyone else did, because you did the best anyone could have done with what you were given." Yeah, that's what he said. They would have given him a lobotomy or something. When they're trying to figure out what it was that was out in the ship.
I never saw Super 8, but that's what I really liked about what I saw of it. I saw like the first half hour of it, and I liked the kids in that too. Mm-hmm. It seemed like J.J. Abrams is really hitting on something that hasn't been hit on in a while. Like, it's very hard to find kids. The Goonies is another one that really hit on that. Had a really good, powerful child cast.
Yep. Lost Boys.
So
maybe it was like a deformed kid or a pervert.
Maybe it was an elf or a leprechaun.
They say there's alligators.
Nothing
in the
like
sewers.
that, penis breath.
They say there's alligators in the sewers. Alligators in the sewers. It's just really cute. I love the family unit. And he didn't have a father. That's a theme in Spielberg's movies too. Is the child without a father.
Yeah.
Because I believe Spielberg does express himself a lot into his movies. His own personal. He's Jewish, and I think some of his movies bring up that whole. Whoa, that was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July.
What's that word?
Celebrate your independence by not watching ID4.
What is it that's called when they make fun? We'll make fun of you for being Jewish. What's that called?
Anti-Semitism.
Thank you. Anti-Semitism. Yeah, because I guess he suffered a lot of that too.
Yeah.
You're right. I guess he has faltered. Lincoln. I guess Lincoln's supposed to be all right. Warhol's. But he's definitely made at least 7 films that are imprinted in cinema.
I really liked.
Jurassic Park was another good film.
Jurassic Park. I really liked AI. And I'm probably a minority in that too, because I'm finding a lot of people actually didn't like it.
Really? I thought it was...
Did you ever see it?
Actually, I have not.
For the main reason that I think Stanley Kubrick was originally supposed to direct and actually handed over, because what it was they both had different ways they wanted to tell the story, and it went back and forth where Stanley wanted to direct and Spielberg wanted to produce, and then they wanted to switch the roles because they both had a different approach. Then when Kubrick died, Spielberg just said, I'll do the best I can with it. So there's a lot of Kubrick influence, there's a lot of Spielberg influence, and then there's an ending, which I won't give away. A lot of people hate the ending. And if you watch like Minority Report is not a memorable movie, but it definitely was really good up until a certain point where it really should have ended, and it kept going on for that last like half an hour. AI did kind of the same thing, but I really liked the ending. It's a little over sappy, but I get really emotionally attached to that ending.
Good.
And it's a weird movie because when you really go back to it, there's not a lot of likable characters.
I'll have to
in
watch
AI.
it. I haven't watched it yet.
It makes you feel like you're in an experience.
Jude
One of those
Law in
movies
it,
where-
right?
Yeah.
And, Haley Joel Osment.
It makes you feel like you're in an experience.
I'll
Whether
have
you
to
like
watch
the movie or not, it feels like you're going. You're in this journey.
And that's the last thing I'll say about Spielberg is I think his greatest talent is his versatility, or is that the word? He's
Versatility?
dabbled
Yeah.
In not only adventure movies with Raiders, then you got the horror. It's kind of a horror movie, Jaws, and then you also have thriller. Okay, I think a thriller is a correct word for that.
Yeah.
Then science fiction with a couple of his movies, and then he did the World War II, and you look at the whole catalog of him. It's amazing. He's touched upon almost every cornerstone.
He's definitely
of America.
a history buff as well. He's got a lot
yeah.
of. He's very smart.
Very few directors can. I don't think anyone on earth right now can brag about the way he can. Well, not brag, but you know what I mean. Can boast of the filmography he has. Whoa, a true legend. And he's like Lucas's best friend. Aren't they like good friends? And
Here's something I want to touch on real quickly.
Sure,
like
keep
everybody
going.
keeps saying that George Lucas is a really bad filmmaker.
Oh, here we go.
But I
love this part.
Yeah,
I love this part.
I'm not.
Sorry.
Without even bringing Star Wars into it. It's just George Lucas might not be the most marketable director. I'll say that. If you see THX 1138, it's definitely not a marketable film at all. But he's brought so much to film, just like Spielberg is. Spielberg is not just a director; he's a producer. He's got his own film company.
A writer
To a degree.
Movie, yeah.
I mean, the guy fucking produced the Tiny Toon Adventures from the 90s.
Yep,
okay,
I remember that.
So just like that, George Lucas brought a lot to the industry. He created nonlinear editing. He
brought
created
Star Wars.
Pixar. He brought
Star Wars.
the whole Star Wars franchise. But yet people piss on him.
Pixar.
Yeah,
He did Pixar?
Yeah, Pixar was a division of Lucas. It was a computer. It was a nonlinear editing computer system, and it was bought by. It went off and became its separate company, and then it later, was bought by Disney.
And they've been making good movies there, from what I've heard.
But it started off as a division of Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Well, hey.
But he developed nonlinear editing. I mean, THX, digital sound, which is still pretty big. Skywalker sound. What fucking movie? Any movie you go to is digitally remastered with Skywalker sound, using his facilities.
It's an interesting.
We
talked about this at the last podcast. We went through a whole spiel about the whole Lucas thing.
We talked, with Star Wars mainly, but there's a book that I have. It's called The History of George Lucas, I think. It's a big book, and it talks about everything he's done, from THX to all of his short films that he made when he was at USC, up till the last Star Wars film.
Oh, okay.
And, the guy is a visionary genius. Again, his films aren't very
American
marketable.
Graffiti is seen as one of the greatest movies these days.
Yeah, and
it's hard for us to relate because it deals with the time in the 50s.
And it often gets but think about it though. Like, we did a lot of that shit when we were in our tweens.
I've never seen American Graffiti, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. It's supposed to be one of his best films.
It's okay.
Not for Star Wars.
It's okay. That's the thing. It gets overshadowed by Star Wars, and that's the thing. But the guy is a great filmmaker, and it just seems like he gets the raw end of the deal.
I think it was in the top 100 of the American Film Institution. I do believe.
American Graffiti?
I think it was in the 100.
It might have been. I have it on Blu-ray.
Which is cool. Yeah, I've never seen it. Richard Dreyfuss and Harrison Ford in a little role.
Some good performances in there.
I haven't seen it. I wouldn't mind.
It was it was unique for the time too, because not a lot of movies use like real music in their soundtracks.
Uh-huh.
American Graffiti has a lot of music. I mean, it does really well. It's a period piece.
Well, since we're on Lucas, I got the one last question here. I want a little piece of paper. This is the Croup de Vol. What kind of movie should the next Star Wars movie be?
Romantic comedy, and porn.
I want to see Han Solo chasing his grandchild. God damn it, Hank! Leave the Falcon alone.
Chewie, get your dick out of Leia's ass.
No, well, what kind of movie should it be?
I kind of envision it as like it's going to probably have some of the pep as like a J.J. Abrams Star Trek film. It's going to.
I hope not.
I don't want to say spin the wheel, but that's what I'm kind of.
Spin the wheel.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't think it'll be anything like Star Trek. I don't think the man's gonna just do the same kind of. I know what you mean though, kind of the glossy look or.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
don't think
feel
it'll
it's
be
going
like
to
that.
be.
I hope
like.
not. I don't think he plans on doing that again. I think with Star Wars, it's gonna be something. I think they're gonna kick everyone's asses with it. I hope they do. I think we all hope they do. We all hoping.
I don't know. It's way in the future because J.J. Abrams even said he's not even really committing to the 2015 deadline. So we'll see.
Well, yeah.
Whenever it comes out, it does.
He was just saying, I'm not gonna. Hey, I see what he was saying. No, I like what he said. That made sense. And we're not rushing this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just. I want to see Boba Fett come out of the Sarlacc pit. That's one thing I want to see.
You keep calling it the Sarlacc. It's the Sarlacc pit.
Huh?
You keep calling it the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
It's called the Sarlacc. The Sarlacc pit. There's no SCAR.
God damn it! I want to see Boba Fett come out of the fucking pit. Okay. Sarlacc.
The
I do.
pit.
I think that'd be so cool. That'd be so.
I would like
bitchin'.
to see.
I want to see a slow camera pan of. Like,
I want to see a bunch
inside.
of Rancors just like tearing shit up.
That would be pretty sweet. I want to see the inside of the Rancor and see Boba Fett chilling out with like a bunch of people, and then they're trying to get his jetpack going. Come on, get this shit working. I gotta get out of here.
God damn it, Luke! Get your fucking kids away from my jetpack.
The thing how cool that would be to show the inside of that pit. That would be because in the movie you don't see the inside; it's all just imagination.
I think it's going to take place.
Man.
It's going to take place like 30 years after Jedi.
And you got to have Luke. I think training Padawans.
Well, I think that's what it's going to be.
Restarting the Jedi Order, which is I think that's the next logical thing. And they're resurrecting Darth Vader. I think they should bring back Darth Vader. I still think that's a great idea.
I think that's stupid.
Well, if they find a plausible way, you'll be cheering your ass off.
No, I think that's
Darth Vader on the big screen again.
I think that's.
What are you going to do? Have fucking Darth Maul come back?
Because he's part of one trilogy. I just don't. It's just like the way Lucas is trying to integrate parts of the prequel trilogy into the original trilogy. I know
he's part of all 6 movies.
6 movies.
Anakin. Darth Vader was always.
I just think that story ended. I'm not interested in having Darth Vader return. I'm not. I don't care how. Yeah, he's a legendary, iconic character, but I don't think they should bring him back. He died. He had a story arc and he died. That's how I feel, and I think it'd be very stupid. You'd be doing a disservice to the story in the series.
It's a hard thing to figure out is how to bring him back because he was pretty much toast.
I got an idea. Don't do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I want to see that. I think the Sarlacc pit. I'll bet you. I'll almost guarantee that's something that's debated. That even the writers, I would hope, are talking about. I don't know if it's just one guy writing it or if there's. I know Michael Arndt's the sole writer, but there's like you called it, hands in the pot, of course. But
like I said, the thing about it is these movies have not been planned. Like they weren't for a while. Lucas was intent on not even doing them. So whatever happens, I don't think they're going to be designed to tie into the old movies. I think they're going to be their own thing, which is fine. If they're entertaining, great. I don't think, and maybe they will be memorable in the road.
I hope so.
So many years down the road to even be talking about whether they'll be remembered or not. All I'm hoping for is that they're good and they're entertaining and they do the movies justice.
And you want that sense of nostalgia back. You want to feel like you're watching a Star Wars film again. And I'm not trying to knock Phantom Menace or anything like that, but they didn't feel like Star Wars.
I see what you're saying.
They didn't feel like.
I think to a certain point they have that chance. The thing I'm also worried about is the fact that Lucasfilm is owned by Disney. It's starting to worry me a little bit.
A little.
Because, like, the Avengers got a lot of praise, but now you see movies like Iron Man 3, which was the first movie that, aside from the Avengers, it was like the next movie to come out that was like the Disney Marvel thing. And they did, it was an entertaining movie, but they made some really fucking stupid decisions.
You saw Iron Man 3, right?
Yeah. It was a good movie, but there was nothing memorable. It was just like an entertaining, stupid, leave your mind at the door kind of thing. And they made some dumb decisions. Yeah. Those of you who've seen it, The Mandarin was I thought it was stupid. Like I didn't really care either way, but I just thought like why? Like it was such a stupid
decision. It makes you worry about
decision.
Star Wars.
Yeah, like is Disney just gonna kind of lose faith in LucasArts?
They let everyone go at LucasArts, didn't they? Like let go a lot of people and stuff like that. And...
Well, I don't know because Kathleen Kennedy apparently is the president of Lucasfilm. So
she's running it all now.
Yeah, so I wouldn't think so. That'd be kind of.
I heard there was layoffs. There were a bunch of layoffs. They're kind of like revamping the whole thing.
That's stupid.
Well, what's expected? What do you want them to do?
But at the same time, I made a comment last week when we did our last podcast. I think
fuck sticks and boomsticks.
Yeah. More Star Wars can be a bad thing because I thought the Clone Wars really
too much.
Series,
I think your word is too much Star Wars.
What did I say?
You said more Star Wars.
Well, either way, more. I know what you mean.
Too
much.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars I thought deteriorated the franchise because when it was just the 6 films, maybe you liked the prequels, maybe you didn't. But I think a lot of us, at least half of us liked the prequels just fine. We had 6 pretty good films. The trilogy was, the original trilogy was great films.
Yeah.
But then you have like the Clone Wars TV series, which kind of diminished it. Like,
Yeah.
I really thought that series was crap. I don't think anybody really cares about the Clone Wars that much for it to be a whole series.
But
Now they're doing another TV series, and they're doing it in the vein. It's going to take place between like episodes 4 and 5.
Fuck all that.
Well,
I just want the next movie to be good. Yeah, I think the word is nostalgia. I think everyone wants to feel like they're watching Star Wars again.
yeah.
And I think I like the choices they made so far. I think Abrams is the guy to do it. I can't think
But
of it.
all you have right now are names. It doesn't mean anything.
But I'll just say, right, so far so good, I think. I think you got the right guy.
You got to remember, Lucasfilm hires these people.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
that's fine. Well, they want the best talent they can. They know it's an important project. Michael Lawrence is probably the most sought-after writer in Hollywood.
We're going to find fucking Woody
that's a
and
good
Buzz
one.
in the middle of a Star Wars movie.
What?
Like fingering Mickey Mouse. So give us a shout out next week if you listen to this, which you probably don't. But if you do, give us topics you want us to talk about.
Please, yeah, we're running out.
I have no idea. This
You
might
can
be the
come up
last
with 10
podcast.
things to talk about with me over the week, Lenny. Come on.
10 things I hate about
Just
you.
being lazy. Yeah. Oh, your smile, your face, your arrogance. Hey, can you take that fucking mirror off your bed? I swear to God, if I see myself pissing one more time, I'm going to kill myself.
That's why it's there, so you can
Don't
see yourself
like it.
kissing.
I'm taking it down. And happy 4th of July. My stump.
Remember, celebrate your Independence Day by not watching crappy.
Those Ben videos were pretty funny. I like the one me and you did. When it was me and you. Dan was filming us. Stop yelling at me. I can't take all this pressure. I can't take all this pressure.
Water's leaking on my head.
Quiet down a bit, because I gotta fuck the dog in the ass.
Because I got pink eye.
I like when your dad yelled at us from upstairs.
Lenny! God damn it, Ben!
Your dad yelled at us. I could hear him.
You're disappointment me, you bitch.
Well, stop fucking around with CDs then. I remember that one. After I fuck his girlfriend again. Hi, Crystal. That was funny because Dan actually had sex with Crystal. Oh, whoops. Hi, Aaron. If you're listening, hello.
Hello. I'll put a tampon on my
we're
arm.
Getting off track quick.
All right, so until next time, kids.
7Q.
Don't smoke
Don't
crack.
do drugs. And
Have a lot of sex.
Safe
Protected sex.
safe sex.
Use a condom.
Have fun.
Hi, Mom. Naked men.
Bye. It's sour. It's so sour.
The end.